Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about certain mistakes that almost got me fired from a multinational company I was working with offices here in India. I was making a lot of design mistakes and also non-design mistakes that almost got me kicked off the team. They even warned me and they even said they're gonna test me out for just one more month. Otherwise, I'll have to leave. I learned from that and I just want to pass on my learnings and my experiences to you guys through this video. Watch till the end because each one of these points is important and everyone will be able to relate with this. Alright, so the first thing which I didn't realize early on was not doing things from scratch. And to this, there are a lot of different variables. Not having all the assets and elements that the company was using in different areas or places in one Figma or Adobe XD or whatever file. They did not have a design system per se, they just had a lot of scattered UI elements all over. And I, for one, was not a huge fan of that, but for some reason, I was trying to replicate everything or trying to do things from scratch. If I had to build a button, I used to just draw a rectangle, then add text to it, then change the colors, the borders, the gradients, and just add everything from scratch. For even creating a button, it took me like 10-15 minutes, which of course, listening to now sounds insane. But back then, when there was no auto layout or 10 different things, people like me just did everything from scratch. Now, a very senior designer came later on onto the team and actually suggested including a design system in our design process. And we finally shifted to that. As someone who's a mid-tier UX designer, I should have pushed for that earlier. So that was a huge mistake. In today's time, there are so many solutions. There is HTML to Figma converter, which converts any website to a Figma file. So even if the company does not have, say, a design system or UI kit, you can literally just copy from a website into Figma, and that would be as simple as that. Suggesting an external or a basic design system like a material design system or something like that, tweaking it into your brand's identity, colors, etc., and then using that would be much more useful than just creating everything from scratch. The number two mistake, which I changed immediately after rejoining another company, was delegation. Delegating your design projects and admitting that you cannot do it alone is huge. So if you have a design project, you feel you need at least one more person to do it inside your deadline, do not hesitate to ask another designer from the team to join you on that project. If a certain designer has time in your team and they can just jump into the project, they will. There's nothing illegal or there's nothing unethical for another peer or your other designers to join you while you are doing that project. Another hack I found internally was you can actually go to the lead or manager telling them that this is a tricky project, nobody else is free. If they could put some of their hours into that project, a lot of times design managers and leads have helped me complete a project on time or efficiently or effectively, and their inputs were very valuable as well. You will also be considered a team player, somebody who wants other people to succeed with them. That builds a better and more friendly environment as well. The third one I realized at my last job before I turned into an entrepreneur was bringing additional skills onto the table, letting people know that you have additional skills that could also help in that project. So for example, I was really good at using auto animate in Adobe XD back in the day to actually create certain animated elements. I used to be able to export these things into Lottie files for developers to use. So that I asked the team, hey, can I do some animation magic? And I did, and a lot of those elements made it to the final application, and I was super happy. Enabled the team to look at my design work as something different, as something above and beyond what everyone else was bringing onto the table. In fact, I even gave workshops to other people inside the team to actually get those skills into their workflow or into their project. So that was really cool that I was being given this separate table altogether in the company, and I was being given more credibility for the work I was putting in. The next thing I could have avoided all along, and I don't know why I was doing it at the time, shadowing other designers instead of being right next to them. So a lot of times when you're a junior or a fresher or an intern, you're shadowing other designers. You're being a part of their process instead of being a leader of that process. So there's a huge difference between those two people. A shadow is often, first of all, not seen as valuable as someone who was actually a part of the project. I was being a shadow because I had this constant negative thought that maybe I'm not as good as those designers, or maybe they have more experience than me. If they had more years of experience, I automatically thought these guys are better at this than me and I should be a shadow in front of them. And that is the worst mistake you can make, the worst one I made as well. Instead of being a shadow, be someone, again, as I said earlier, who can bring a special skill into the project and who can bring their opinions and their experience-based perspectives onto the table. Again, UX is a lot about experience, not what a book prescribes you. It's not medicine or engineering. It's not a direct exact science. For every project, there's something new you might find out, or some hypothesis that you might prove right or wrong. So for that, please do your own research. If somebody else is doing a master plan, don't be a part of that master plan. Have your own plan as well. Have your own material laid out as well. Being able to add that as value, and also being shown as someone who added value to the final project, will make you a part of the team like nothing else. And that was something that I was missing out on. I wasn't being a part of the team. I was being a shadow of the team, or shadow in the team. Alright, so this next one is not design specific, but it can be used anywhere else. Design is not just about the design team. It's about other teams and other relationships you build around that team. So relationships with developers, product managers, building a series of links you have in the company from whom you can get help, from whom you can ask for assets, resources, whatnot. They could be helping you out with a lot of parts of the project. And honestly, a lot of them will be scoring you as well whenever there is some sort of a review being done on you or your teammates. Building relationships doesn't mean you go after them or you chase them or anything. It mostly means when you're working with them or around them, having conversations, asking questions, building a rapport that, okay, this person, I remember this person, he asked me a good question. That is enough. You don't have to run after them. The next one is definitely more design specific, so maybe not helpful to everyone. When you're designing, you have to have a line of communication with every step of your design process. Even though you might be an introvert trying to stay away from people, if you have a line of communication with your team trying to build something together, that is crazy valuable. Things like Figma collaboration tools, comments, and dev mode are a good step in the right direction. These tools actually work in a working environment. Add your seniors and your team members to your design project as collaborators or communicators, regardless of whether they're on the team or not, regardless of whether they're interested in the project or not. Whenever you want your seniors to give you feedback, please ask them to come onto your project and give some live feedback, tell where you're going wrong, etc. Now, results is inevitable. They're already expecting results, but better results will obviously come from the right kind of feedback. Alright guys, so this was a one-on-one. I'm trying to do these one-on-one sessions, something creative, something different. I hope you like this. If you do, just give me a thumbs up. I'll know I should make more one-on-one kind of style videos like this. I'll constantly make videos every week like this, not just this one, but everything else I do on the channel. So make sure you've subscribed and you're liking and you're commenting, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time, same place. Until then, take care. God bless.